there, and hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Deconstruction Junction podcast, sponsored by Love and Action Network. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. You're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. I'm an online clarity coach and mentor, specializing in many different areas: vocal performance, confidence coaching, clarity, stage fright, and beyond. Would love to get to know you over on lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. Joined every week by the fiercely talented and amazing Tara Parolo Studio. Introduce yourself to the folks as we launch this pod.
Hello, and if you are not a part of Love and Action's distribution and Dr. Flo's distribution channels, Flare channels, you are welcome to join. They are on Instagram, and all of those links exist at lovedandlovable.bio.lankypoop. And I'm Tara Priolo. I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician who sometimes speaks in a Russian accent. We haven't talked about Russia for a while on this pod. I am a human. I'm a human today. I'm a human and a mom, and sometimes I'm tired. Today is one of those days. You can find out more about me on all platforms at Tara Priolo Studio. But yes, if you're out there, which we know you're out there because you're on the listy poops, if you filled out an intake form, you're on the listy poops. If you'd like to be a guest on this particular podcast, you got something to talk about. You talk about decolonization all the time. Your story relates to decolonization. Maybe you want to talk about church hurt. Maybe you got a story about like the guy. I don't think either one of us brought the cornhole guy, the cornhole guy. But if maybe you want to come talk about the cornhole guy, you are so welcome to. We will place you and your little Bitmoji, provided that you haven't deleted Snapchat and you're not too old for it, where it says your name here, ? And I wasn't only flipping you guys off. I was trying to show you my nails from a Black-owned business that are piano nails. But I was also kind of flipping y'all off because what's a better way to open a Wednesday?
Listen,
Right?
we talked about rejection this morning on multiple live streams, and sometimes you get flipped off in life, and you have to keep moving anyway.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yes.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
All right, we've got limited time today, and so Tara's up first with the first slide.
Yes. Okay. So y'all know that I'm apparently the resident reporter on what's happening with ICE. Over the weekend, like literally over the weekend, Donald Trump just woke up out of bed one day and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send DHS to help at the airports." To which we all went, "Huh?" Because what? Turns out it's in Project 2025. In case you all were wondering. But also because the Democrats are stalling the budget and the government is in a partial shutdown currently, TSA agents have been quitting over the last several weeks because they are not getting paid. So they are like, I'm out, dude. So, but DHS is funded because of a bill last summer. That was implemented on Monday, I think at like 13 or 14 airports that we know of. There was an incident at San Francisco, I think it was San Francisco, where they detained a woman pretty violently. No shocker to that. They aren't allowed to wear their masks, though. And the other aspect of this that I've seen floating around is that a lot of these agents that they're sending to the airports are the Black and brown and women agents. I don't know why y'all want to be cops. I think that's weird. I think it's weird for all types of people. But like, that's weird. Like, why are you an ICE agent? Anyway, so they are quote unquote helping TSA. I think if we go to the next slide, there's like something there. There might be a thread. Yeah, okay. I gotta make my screen big. Hold on. Okay. So also in response, Delta, there was like something weird with Delta over the weekend, like they were getting canceled or something. And Delta announced that they are suspending their special service desk for members of Congress until TSA is fully funded. Um, so basically, members of Congress will now be treated like all other flying customers because they are and they deserve it. And if Flowskis would click there, I believe there is a link to an incident that happened at LaGuardia um, that we're just blaming on the government shutdown and ICE being present.
Stop, truck one, stop. Ground Unit 2384 is declaring an emergency. The flight attendants in the back are feeling ill. Because of the odor, we will need to go into any available gate at this time.
Okay, roger that. Hey, this is Ed again. Do you guys have any gate for United? Because now they're declaring an emergency. They want to get out. Yeah.
Let me ask them. I'll call you right back.
Okay, roger that.
Jet 646, LaGuardia.
No, it's you for DLS 4 for Jet 646.
646, number 2, clear to land 4.
Clear to land number 2 for Jet 646.
And 2384, do you have a gate available at this time? Otherwise, we will be probably requesting air stairs.
Give me 1 second.
2384.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle that needs to cross the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower?
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Sorry, truck 1. Stop, truck 1. Stop, truck 1, stop.
4195, we're staying here.
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position, I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around Delta 2603.
LaGuardia Tower.
Tower, Carnes, to reiterate, LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time. No aircraft in or out.
Okay. Stop.
Yeah. So, rest in peace to those people. And every time that something happens with the government shutdown, it does seem like it correlates then also to accidents, like this one. I think this happened last fall. I feel like there was like the helicopter collision thing that happened. Mayhaps. I feel like that was last fall. The helicopter and the plane.
Was that in like January?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it does seem to correlate along with ICE being present. That happened on Monday. ICE was implemented on Monday. Lots of confusion, lots of things in the way that this government continues to be pretty horrific. Yeah.
January 29th, 2025. So it's been well over a year when that mid-air collision near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport killed 67 people, making it the deadliest commercial aviation accident in the United States in more than 20 years. And those two pilots from Canada who lost their lives, I mean, senseless, because I've heard there was no transponder on the vehicle to show that it was actually where it was. So the emergency systems that could have alerted that someone was on the runway were not working. Just as a former flight attendant, we call it the chain. There has to be several broken elements in order to have an aviation catastrophe. Like 3 to 5 different things have to go wrong, and there has to be several different breaks in the chains in order for there to be loss of life. Planes, unlike cars and trucks, are not built to take an impact. There are no airbags For
Nothing.
example, in an airplane. So rest in power to them. All right, we're heading on over to Threads to see what the people are talking about today over in the great internet.
The World Wide Web.
American Traveler, the realtor IA Brooke, or the realtoria Brooke, says watch American Traveler on ISIS presence in airports. They're here to help. They're not bothering nobody. As long as they can check my bags and get me on my flight, I'm good to go.
Okay, girl.
Here's also gratuitous butt shot of a gentleman who is
It has the same underwear in many different colors.
He does. Tickle Me Velour Salon says, walk out your dreams. You deserve it. Hustler says, just in, thousands of crows are circling over Tel Aviv, Israel. If you know scripture, this is not a good sign. The Skeptic Scribe says, the migratory patterns of birds is a thing.
I don't know. I think bombing other countries is probably why that karma's just going to come around. But okay.
Amoya Shante says, Delulu tip for today. Record a 1-minute voice note of your future self talking about how everything worked out. Listening to your own voice activates mirror neurons, and your brain begins to identify as a future version of you.
Well, that sounds like a fun experiment.
I agree. So that's what's happening on Threads right now. We'll be back with more Threads in a second. Terrence will give us some Minnesota news.
From the sports desk. No, I could give you sports news. We have a new quarterback. His name is Kyler Murray. We also re-signed, what's his name? Carson Wentz. And there are trade rumors about JJ McCarthy because, when the Vikings fan base is upset with you, you don't have long. You don't have long, my friend. Anyway, Minnesota news is that while ICE the occupation has wound, is that the word? Wound down? Wow. I feel like I'm saying that word wrong. Anyway, there were still 2 helicopters flying awfully low around me this morning, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, yesterday, the city admin finally did something where they sued the Trump administration for access to the evidence related to 3 shootings that happened here. So that's the murders of Alex Preddy, Renee Good, and then I can't remember his name, but he got shot in the leg, and essentially they tried to cover it up and then tried to not release the evidence so that it could be completely investigated by our law enforcement, which is a wild thing that we're going to trust our law enforcement that also prosecuted the Derek Chauvin. Anyway, don't worry about it. What matters is that there is movement. There is movement, but also since then, since the wind down, there have been people that have died in ICE custody that have, were either from Minnesota or are just being housed in pretty horrible conditions at Dilley. So that is the update on Minnesota. Oh, and Mayor Jacob Fry wants to build Cop City, but won't do an eviction moratorium. He wants $40 million to build Cop City. And he bought a $700,000 home. But he won't pass an eviction moratorium. In fact, he vetoed it. So
he has private security. Most Americans don't.
Right. Like you're cool, Mayor Fry. We see you.
I want to talk a bit today about rejection. We've been talking about it on Instagram Live, on my Ask Dr. Flo feed, and also on TikTok today on Ask Dr. Flo on TikTok. There's a young lady who did the 1,000 rejection challenge.
Could you say her name one more time? Perhaps that's what you're going to get.
Gabriella Carr. The
Got-
1,000 Rejections Challenge is a self-improvement project popularized by creators like Gabriella Carr, where individuals intentionally seek 1,000 no's over a year to overcome the fear of rejection, build resilience, and increase opportunities. Participants track requests in careers, dating, or daily life, treating rejection as data rather than failure. And I'm going to be launching the Rejection Connection very, very soon, where we can track our rejections together, because having people tell you no, or that they are not interested in your programs, y'all, my apologies. I had coffee today, so the engine's a little revved. No from people, or people not enjoying your ideas, or people not being positive about what you're doing in your life is not going to destroy you. If it were going to destroy you, I would have been gone many, many, many times over.
Me too, girl.
This morning I woke up and I had pitched the Love and Action Global Consciousness Exchange to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Someone this morning responded, no longer interested, and it almost ruined my entire day. We cannot allow rejection to be anything other than protection from people who are not going to be ultimately enthusiastic about what we're doing and who we're screwing. In the words of Mel Robbins, who stole it from another assigned white at birth lady, let them.
Did you see that video I sent you this morning with the let them in? It was about a boiled egg that fell off the counter, and the dude was like, Mel Robbins says to let them.
Let them.
It made me giggle.
Here's the original poem by Cassie Phillips, who originated Let Them. Some say that Mel Robbins took this poem and allowed AI to write the book that became the New York Times bestseller, because some of you all know that to become a New York Times bestseller, it's not necessarily about the quality of the book as much as how much money you can put behind marketing the book and making sales. But here is the Just Let Them poem really quickly. Just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they are okay with never seeing you, let them. If they are okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are and not what you perceive them to be, let them. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you were always your own. So let them.
I kind of want to get that tattooed, like on my finger. You were probably reading something, but I was definitely flicking y'all off again with every time he said let them. Kind of want to get that on my finger.
Let them?
Yeah. Or like
sure always reminds you of Mel Robbins.
Or the go find less. I also like that quote.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see let them as a fuck you as much as I see it as a releasing, so that someone who actually wants to hug me can fill your place. I think I've spent so many years of my life pandering to confrontational energy with people who did not want to really be in my life, that I did not open my eyes to the warm embrace of strangers. we've talked many times on this podcast, and I've talked a lot of times on my live streams about the fact that most of the people who want to support us in our dreams are strangers that we haven't even met yet. And we spend our time agonizing over the 10 people that we know who have all of these wild opinions about what we should be doing, where we should be going, where we should be working, where we should be posting on social, yada, yada, that we're not even meeting someone who would really be turned on and follow us to the mountaintop. And so I'm grateful that this morning, when I saw not even the worst rejection that I've ever had in my life, I just saw someone passing on an offer I had. I was able to put it into perspective really quickly and turn it into an uplifting opportunity for the community to reflect on the fact that you don't need everybody. You just need those who want to walk with you in life.
Yes. So I have been pondering this idea of flattening, which is also basically like lack of nuance. Since I listened to Pod Save the People last week and they were talking about it, but the thread that follows this, and I don't. Okay, so the person that posted the original post, which is what I can't remember, deleted their post. So I don't remember what the original post was, but the response on the next page, if you would flip me forward, please. Thank you. Said, and I just thought this was like, and Flo, you were talking about this in the live earlier about, let me read the quote. Hold on. We needed to have real conversations and now we just have reactions. And like I said, I don't remember what that original post was. It says replying to an unavailable post, so I can't find it if I wanted to. But Flo was talking earlier about the way in which, like, having a conversation at the lunch table, right? And like those 4 people that you met in the 80s, right? And not necessarily on social media. And this is sort of a critique of essentially the flattening of human relationship that society has allowed on these platforms, right? Because now, and we've talked about this on this pod, we talk about this in Adopt a Black Artist, we talk about this in Unfuckwithable, like we talk about this all the time, about this like idea of engagement, right? And how do we get to the conversations that we want to have when these platforms have trained us now, right, to quick like or quick react and move on, right? Or call you a name and move on, or give you an emoji and scroll on, right? And so it's just like,
Inorganic behavior.
right. And so it's like, I again, like, I wish I remembered what the original post was, but this response, it just really jogged me into that flattening once again of like the totality of humanity and relationship with each other. Because while in Love and Action Network and with Dr. Flo, like, there is a lot of opportunity for real conversation and real interaction, particularly those of you that are coming on to host, coming on to guest, that hang out in the live streams. Those are real conversations where you are actually having to put a freaking comment if you want Dr. Flo to know that you're there. Hello, somebody, right? And not just tap the screen, right? But in a lot of other places, we're not forced to do that, right? We are asked to do the quick interaction and then nothing really moves because it's just a flattening of the social aspect of humanizing of humanity.
I want to talk about dreams today. So, I would encourage everybody, dream, dream, dream. Hold fast to your dreams.
That's on my album.
I was about to look it up. Tell us about that real quick, because
Hold Fast to Dreams is a poem. It's a poem. Can you say poem? Can you say it really quick? Because I love the way you say that word.
Poem.
Poem. Yes, I really do authentically love the way that you say that word. Because I don't say it like that. I say it like a Midwesterner. Poem, like a fucking toad or something. Anyway, Hold Fast to Dreams is a poem by Langston Hughes. It is on my album as part of Rosephine Powell's. Hold on. That's the wrong. Langston Dreams is the song cycle. And I think it's the first one. We can play it if you want, but yeah, or part of it. I don't know if you went and looked at it, but you can find that album at tarapriolo.bandcamp.com. I'm trying to get to 500 listens and $1,000 that I haven't talked about in a really long time. So there's that. But yeah, Hold Fast to Dreams. I think it's a beautiful poem. Did you look up the poem?
Yeah, it says dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. And I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you had a dream in your heart, you probably could apply, if you like Dr. Flo's principle number 2, and use everything in your hands right now to get it. And if you are stuck in some way and not seeing how all the puzzle pieces fit together, we've got plenty of strategic partners and practitioners within Love and Action Network that are able to see the trees for the forest, within the forest, the creeks in the forest, the mud in the forest. They may kick you off of a cliff into the forest towards your dreams, but we have all of that in-house. And so your dreams are worthy. And God, text message is so funny. You are worthy of walking towards what you want in this life. I almost said my old word that I've been using up until my 40s. I almost said you have everything in your power to manifest your dreams, but for some of us, the manifestation thing isn't quite clicking because we're leaving out the part where we have to walk towards our dreams and move on our dreams and take actions on our dreams. Manifestation tends to be something that gets very, very woo-woo. In fact, I'm going to look up the definition of manifestation. It's a public display, sign, or outward expression of something such as a feeling, idea, or disease. In popular context, it refers to bringing desires into reality through positive thinking, visualization, and belief. It is the act of making the unseen visible or real, such as a symptom or a protest. Just make sure that in the process of doing the positive thinking, you're also taking positive action. Did you want to riff a little bit about dreams before we move forward quickly?
Dream. I have the Muppets stuck in my head, y'all. Which that's not even. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about dreams. Here's the thing about dreams. You know what I found on my floor this morning in my bedroom? Because by the way, if you have a toddler, y'all, your toddler will find things that you haven't seen in 10 years. So my toddler found Everything is Fucked, a book about hope, which contains one of our a quote that was very momentous back in the day of like when a dream dies. And I think a lot of us have this perception that the dream dies if we give up on it. But it actually doesn't die until after we've achieved it, which is why we continue to get the feeling of that dream again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And so, yeah, I am one of those people to, go back to what you were talking about manifestation, that manifestation has really once again, in the flattening of it, particularly in the online space, is not something that resonates with me, right? Because it does allow people to just be like, I dream XYZ, period, right? And never say it to anybody else, never make a move on it. Like it's just there's this void of that, right? And so like I guess my encouragement on your dreams is that like your dreams matter and they can exist in the here and now. And like I do a lot of talking about the new world and the world that we're building beyond this one and that doesn't have capitalism and liberation and da 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 da. We have to be bold enough. Dr. Flo talks about this a lot. We have to be bold enough to like actually walk towards those things. We have to be bold enough to know that it's underneath our feet, right? Like literally when we walk outside the door, it's underneath our feet. Yesterday I was walking in the backyard with my kiddo and I was like, "Oh, and the ground is still a little bit springy because we got a foot of snow 2 weeks ago. Ground is still springy." And I was like, "Oh, the ground is giving back to me." Right? Like and I just like your dreams can do that for you and they can be the fuel that gets you there. So I think a lot of us think that our dreams and it can feel that way, right? It can feel like the yak hair sweater. It can feel like the endless to-do list. It can feel like, I don't have enough. I'm not enough. Back to the rejection thing, which is the root of rejection is belonging and wanting to belong and feeling like you don't and not being enough, right? And so we relate that so much to our dreams and so much to those to-do lists and we get lost in that without also remembering that like everything that we dream, everything that we say we want is already here. It's already here. And that's one thing that Papi Wada has Papi Wada will tell both Flo and I all day long that it's already here. Right? And so that's my
Gen
little riff on
Z,
dreams.
Gen Z is very like duh culture. The younger generations in their 20s and late teens and teens, they will just Dora blink on you with the duh face of like, don't you see that there are more jobs? Don't you see that capitalism isn't going away? Don't you see that we've survived the pandemic and 9/11, all of these things, and we still are out here surviving? What's wrong with you adults, and why are y'all freaking out about everything?
Right. I saw a thread this morning that said, "Don't confuse the end of capitalism with the end of the world." And I was like, snaps.
Don't confuse the 100-year dismantling of capitalism. Like, I appreciate you super positive people who believe that that these politicians and rich people are just gonna stop wanting to feel special one day and just say, you know, March 27th, capitalism over.
The
Like,
Ides of March.
uh, once again, my recommendation, if you were in my academy and in my classes and in my training and in my lives, my recommendation to everyone is to figure out how to dance in jail.
Yeah.
Sure, you may be plotting to break out. Sure, you may be plotting to overthrow the oppressors. Sure, you may be plotting to dismantle it all and break the wheel. But joyful days are deserved here and now. And I've giggled a lot today already, even under capitalism. I'm going to giggle at the gas pump. I'm going to giggle at the store. I'm going to giggle out here, figuring out ways to be joyful in my pursuit of making the dead presidents, and not only attracting it, but working at it. But once again, I'm not working hard another day in my life to prove to you all that I'm worthy of existence. I'm the descendant of enslaved people who had stripes on their back for not doing what they were told. No one in this space or under the sound of my voice or in the whole universe is going to tell me what to do anymore because my ancestors did that already. Joy is here. Love is here. I have the internet. Shout out to the people in Iran. We're advocating for your freedom as well, boo boo.
Boo boo.
Threats.
Bobo skadeetin dotten.
Uh,
Oh. There's a man in a tie.
what picture made you realize you're fine as hell? Let me see so I can glaze you. This is a black man loving on himself. I'm not going to be about it. Someone that says, please do not film ICE agents at the airport without the consent of their parents. I guess is a commentary on how young these ICE agents are looking.
Well, those two do look like upper teens, early 20s.
You gotta remember, everybody just wants to belong. And ICE is something to belong to. It's something that, they feel backs them and supports them and gives them an ikigai. And so I never have really, really deeply fought it. MAGA people, who people hate that I say MAGA that way, MAGA people. I've never fought at MAGA people or people in the Klan or people in ICE. I've never faulted them truly for that type of solidarity, because like Tara talked about earlier, they just want to belong. They just want to be part of something that makes them feel alive in a world that's constantly numbing us out to everything and everybody. And so their ability to show up with their badges and their guns and to stand, you always see them congregating around. And now that they have to have their mask off, I mean, don't get me wrong, folks, they're a very evil establishment, and they were established for evil purposes, and they do harmful things. And kind of zoom out, whenever you see them standing around without masks now in the airport, which is a very interesting distinction, that they finally are in a space where they have to actually own the hatred that they stand for, you always see them grouped up, laughing and joking with 5 or 6 of them. They just look like a gang. Like, why do people join gangs? Because their family has abandoned them. They join gangs because they don't feel protected. They want strength in numbers. They want to feel alive in some way. Do we blame the gang for banding together, or do we blame a society that makes people feel like they have no other choice than to align with evil in order to feel safe?
That is part of the, as Dr. Flo says a lot, you'd be surprised what people would give up to belong. You'd be surprised to hear what people give up to belong. Right. And I think that is the conversation that it's like, I try to not blame anyone for what they do underneath of capitalism, underneath of the systems at play, because at the end of the day, we are social beings in our DNA, right? And capitalism literally says individualism is the winning factor. It is contrary to the very fundamental DNA of human.
Individualism that pushes you into an isolation that will depress you to death.
Right. And so they just, they, once again, they're doing horrible things. That doesn't automatically make each and every single one of them horrible people. We haven't heard their story. We don't know why they ended up in ICE. We don't know why they ended up in the gang. We don't know why they ended up selling drugs. We don't know why. I was like, I think we're still on TikTok. I'll try to not get us knocked out. We don't know why people plant gardens. We don't know why people live in trees. We don't know why people choose to live without the internet. We don't know their reasoning outside of they are trying to find belonging, because almost every major group, okay, and I'm talking white, black, Dem, Republican, globalist, centrist, whatever the fuck, every major group primarily exists on exclusion. So when you are going to each and every group and trying to belong, and then they are excluding, where do you end up? In the corners of the internet being isolationist, or in groups like ICE
On
and gays.
4chan having conversations about how Black people are apes.
That part.
And then giggling about it and finding some joy in the giggles. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, that makes me feel good to have a camaraderie in my hatred of another person. We know energetically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, it doesn't end well, because you always have to up the ante of that hatred or self-hatred in order to belong to it further. It's always asking you for more.
Right.
But that initial spark of seen, heard, validated, that's the medicine that everybody's looking for.
And asking you to give up more and more of yourself, right? They validate you. And so you're like, yes, I belong. So you compromise another little bit of your personality. And by the time you're in it for a month, 21 days of forming habits,
it's who you are. It's integrated into your being. We've really worked hard to create a condition of ceasefire in our hearts and our minds and our spirits enough to allow for people to come into Love and Action Network and feel seen, heard, and validated. Sometimes the fire is a little hot because there's so much accountability in here along with the encouragement. But we want you to know that our version of ceasefire here is by holding each other accountable for our dreams, even at 11 o'clock at night when you don't want to put your pricing online because you may be afraid that people will say, who does he think he is?
Or you don't want to do a looking for post because it doesn't align with your brand voice.
Even though we're actively looking for people, all of us, all the time.
I did some.
It's going to work for you. The mantra of the ego is to seek and not find, which has been happening for both of us for quite some time. While the mantra of the spirit and the higher vibration is to seek and be found and find everybody that you need. And so we're going to find everyone. The end of our stories and the stories of everybody watching and listening is one that's happy, joyous, and secure. That is what I truly believe without even pump faking. You can engage in ceasefire with us through the Adopt a Black Artist program, daily peer support, our admin and support services through Love City Arts Creative Services Group, and also check out our Substack where meditations,
new slide,
and all sorts of things are happening to encourage, equip, and empower the world. I'm also working locally in Savannah, Georgia, and beyond as I settle into my coffee finally with some water to take the edge off, into Dr. Flo and the Love Experience, which is going to be this really, really cool staged and community event to allow people to express themselves, loved and lovable. Here's a little scene of the future as we visualize every week together. Tara also has some announcements. Take it away.
Yep, I've got TPS Community Commons. It's completely free. You can come on in. We have different discussion groups that are mostly me talking to myself right now, but I would love to talk to other people. I also mentioned earlier, oh my God, sorry, y'all. I got the pregnancy burps. My I Dream a World album is up and out. It is at tarapriolo.com/ tarapriolo.bandcamp.com. Your girl has not put that link in the link tree, and I know that Dr. Flo just rolled his eyes at me. Don't worry about it, Smalls. It'll get there eventually. And then I also just introduced over the weekend, I've been talking about it on this podcast for a couple weeks, but it just got put up on Instagram with a couple of posts, the I Dream a World Archive Project, where I'm hoping to collect your visions of the new world and what you want in it as a point of discussion and just a point of like, yeah, there's a lot of trauma and there's a lot of hurt and there's a lot of harm in the right now. And what are we doing aside from complaining about it? What are we doing aside from looking at it? Right? It's great to call it out. Dr. Flo was talking about this yesterday. It's great to call it out. And then what? We can call in and move forward, which is a cue to a song that Dr. Flo used to sing on the internet frequently. That's all I got, I think, for right now.
I'm working to find the controls. We have a few new people coming into the Adopted Black Artist Program and Creative Services and our accountability workshops and beyond, who will be eventually producing the show. But in the meantime, we are self-produced and we love it. My closing thoughts are that you are worthy of manifesting what you see here with us and beyond. There's nothing that you can't do or be or have. And just trust yourself today. Trust that you're loved and lovable. Trust that you can stay in your joy and your power. And trust that as long as the universe, consciousness, source gives us breath, we'll be here to talk about the things that you want to talk about and to help you lift your dream. You are loved, capable, and unstoppable. Join our Love in Action Network for peer support and beyond. This week, you can also find out more about all the work that we do and the personnel here at lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link.